Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to the eastern wing of the Stink Bug Works. Yesterday, I was out drilling a hole. Now, normally, when I drill holes, I use a small Jeep-mounted rig that looks like this. And when we're drilling with it, the drilling process looks like this. All right, here we are on the Lynn Lasky lot in Valley Center, and we're pulling the auger out of the hole. How many feet of auger did we have to the bottom of the hole?
19 and a half.
19 and a half feet to the bottom of the hole, and we will measure the actual depth once all the auger's out. If you notice, when he's pulling sections of auger off, he has to hammer out a pin, and that knocks some dirt off the auger, and that's going to happen several times as he pulls the auger out of the hole. So there will be stuff falling off the end of the auger, filling up the hole. But yesterday we had to drill a slightly deeper hole, and so yesterday's drilling looked like this. Okay, boys and girls, Dr. Jet is on the job. This is what I get to do. I get to watch these guys drill a big old hole in the ground. I told them to drill a hole right there, and they're going to drill a hole right there. So I thought I'd fill you in. This is the Watson 1100, and we're going to go down. We're not going to go down very far. We're going to go down 50 feet is all. So I thought I'd show you. Until then, until next time, boys and girls, Jet out. And so that's what I did yesterday. I had a couple of questions and comments here. Now, criticisms I can take all day long. I can take criticism, not a problem. When you get snide and nasty, I don't tolerate it. So just bear that in mind. One of my viewers asked, where am I going to put the batteries? I'm planning on using these airsoft batteries because they're low and such. And remember, these are little tiny motors. And so 1,000 milliamps on a 20 amp setup, that'll give plenty of runtime. Plenty of runtime. Now, let's do some thinking. The original boat was set up with an 049 right here. Now, an 049 doesn't weigh a whole lot, maybe less than that. But it had this big, heavy radio gear back here. It had a servo, a receiver, and a receiver battery. And back then, receivers were this big, servos were this big, and you could probably barely fit a receiver, a servo, and a battery in this compartment. So today things are a lot roomier. So my thinking is the batteries will go here. It needs to balance right on this former. Now, if I need to move the batteries forward, here's something I was thinking of. And that's why I've kind of been delaying putting the sides on. I want to see how the hardware weighs out, and I don't have a couple of pieces of it. But I could make a square hole here and build a little box out of scrap bits of this mahogany and build a little box that this battery could go into if I needed to get weight that far forward. Since this is not an all-out speed monster, if I need to get weight that far forward, I have a lot of room up here to put it. Now, I'm going to fill all this with pink foam before I put the deck on. Just because I want it completely unsinkable. And this much foam in there will make it completely unsinkable. A little quick aside, these wood boats are really stiff and rigid. If you hit a duck with them, it's not going to hurt the boat. So I'm looking at my steering and speed controls, and the plan is going to go something like this. I think I'm going to put the speed controls right in this area here if I can. That way I can have a direct run with the wires, keep everything off to the sides to leave room for this cockpit I'm going to put in here. And remember now, this motor cover is going to go forward of this bulkhead somewhat, so I can cheat on the size of the cockpit here and hide things back there and do a number of things. Oh, by the way, talking about the cockpit, and see, I may cheat it on this side too. This is the right size guy. He has no head, he has no arms, he has no lower legs, but he does give you an idea of the right size guy. And if I moved him off to one side, his feet could clear the gear drive bump. Who knows? Who knows? So we're gonna see what happens with the interior. One of my viewers talked about curving these sides, and the last time you saw this, I had it on a paint can. Well, I discovered that once you get a radius on here, it kind of takes that shape and you can bend it again. So I re-soaked it and I put it on this piece of PVC pipe. What is this? This is 1 inch pipe. Yeah, it looks like 1 inch. So I put it on this 1 inch PVC pipe, and it's been here for several days now. I'll pull this off pretty soon and do the same thing to that side. And what it essentially did is it put a tighter radius in it over a longer distance. This piece still needs some radius in here, and it needs a tighter radius here. So that's what this is doing. So this is the second application of ammonia and warm water. So that's about all I got for you today. Yesterday I was out working. I was out... You got all these guys working, you know, and they've got their hard hats and they're doing their thing. And we're sitting in lawn chairs watching them. And we're making the big bucks. Life is good. We're making bucks big enough that I can afford to do silly ass things like this, like build a gear drive in a boat that doesn't need it. But I'm doing it anyway because I can. And just to see what it looks like. So, lastly, I'm going to use a submerged rudder, nothing hanging off the back here. And the kit would have you use this block and glue it in and drill a hole through it and put your rudder bearing in that. And they gave you these nice pair of mahogany blocks to go up here for a different 049 motor. Anyway, these mahogany blocks were just about the right size to fit between these stringers, so I think I'm just gonna glue that block in there and then drill a hole. I need a better pointer. Drill a hole up near the forward edge of this block so I can get the rudder forward so it's not sticking past the transom here. I have a really nice, cool brass rudder coming from China, but it's on a very slow boat. I think it's on a rowboat. I found one of similar size located here in California, so I ordered that one. They use the same size pivot post, so I'll build it around the plastic one that's coming, but I may swap out to the nice brass one just for looks later on. I went through a bunch of servos and I picked this old JR241. Now, my complaint about the JR241 is it's slow. You slam the stick and the servo goes. I'm exaggerating just a little bit, but they're slow servos. And so this has been sitting in my box of servos because I really didn't want to put it in anything because it's so slow. This boat, on the other hand, can handle a slow rudder servo because this thing is not going to be doing, 100-mile-an-hour laps. It'll be lucky to be doing 20-mile-an-hour laps. And that'll be just fine with me. Really, with this bottom on here, it's going to be like skipping a stone. In fact, I mentioned a while back, before I started this project, that a cracker box might be fun to build. But if you look at the underside of this boat, that pretty much is a cracker box. It's flat. It's got a minimal, dead rise in it. That's for all practical purposes a cracker box. I wonder if Cracker Box copied anything from Hallett. This was a Hallett. So there you go. Rudder location, I haven't quite settled on. Batteries, I think will go there. Like I said, rudder will go there. Oh. Here comes Miss Pay Attention to Me. Come here, I'll pay attention to me. You must pay attention to me. Yes. She was out chasing wild rodents all night, and now she comes in and says, pay attention to me. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put the servo. Remember, I'm going to have a battery on each side, and I want to try to make a tray that'll drop in here. So I may try to get the servo back along this side as far as I can, with the arm coming off this way to keep it out of the engine bay, because I'm half tempted to put a small block, a 1/12 scale small block Chevy in here just to make it look cool. And in fact, I ordered a 3D printed small block Chevy with tunnel rams in it, because these boats all ran tunnel rams. Tunnel rams would be perfect for it. So I have a small block Chevy in 1/12 scale. It may work one of two ways. I may be able to run it with the dummy motor in here, the dummy engine. I may be able to do that. Or the engine may just become a display engine, and when I run it, I'll just have, a flat cover over it and call it good, if you know what I mean. So there you go, boys and girls. Just a quick update on the past couple of days. Some working on boats, some working on houses. Until next time, boys and girls, jet out.